Hello everyone, we're going to talk about electrical hazards. Electrical hazards are anything that has to do with electricity. We are welders, so our machines have electricity running through them. Anything that has some type of electricity, if it's something as simple as a light bulb to something as complicated as a welding machine or a computer could be another example. These things are electrical hazards for a reason. Um, you know, if it comes to your machine and there's an electrical problem, don't try to fix it yourself. All electrical hazards, if it is a true one, should be installed or repaired by trained technicians. So an electrician should be the one to work on it. You don't call an electrician to do plumbing. You don't call a plumber to be welding something, and you don't call a welder to, repair a computer. We have our job titles because that is what we are trained to do. We know how to do it. We know how to do it well, and we know how to do it safely. So anything about installing or a major repair, the electrician. That's their thing to do. Next thing that you want to make sure is that don't weld on a wet surface. It should be common knowledge that electricity and water don't mix well. So if you're standing on a puddle of water while you're welding, that arc is going to find you and go into that puddle. It's the last thing you want to happen. Another thing is if it's raining outside and you're out in the rain where you are soaked head to toe, don't weld. Once again, it don't mix well, and you don't want to find that out the hard way. So just remember, if it's wet, don't do it. What can you do to help that out? Well, if there's a little bit of water on the ground, maybe you take, plywood, put it down and step on the plywood, and then weld. Now you're out of the water. The safest bet that you can do, especially if you're indoors, is put down a rubber mat. Rubber mats do smell bad when a spark or something like that lands on top of them. They smell horrible, but you're not going to get shocked by the water. So those are things to do. Another really safe thing is that if you're indoors and there's water on the floor, mop it up. Just get it cleaned up. Just as a little tidbit, just because you're a welder doesn't mean that you can't help clean. Everybody's job should be able to keep an environment clean because it is a safety hazard. But I'll go over that in a different chapter. Next thing is, before you turn your machine on, check for any damages. Your leads have copper in them. So your work lead and your ground lead. That copper is where the power is running through. So if you see exposed copper, we need to wrap it up with electrical tape. Or if it is a major damage, we need to replace the lead entirely. Your stinger and your ground also have copper in them. So if they're exposed, we need to figure out if we need to replace the piece or if we just need to move the covering or something like that to make it safe. We want to make sure that everything is nice and secure. You don't want anything halfway loose. So do that and do that before the machine's on. Next thing, make sure that you're always wearing your proper gear, your personal protective equipment, so your PPE. One of the first things that you want to do is make sure you're not going out there in polyester clothes. As a welder, for us that is a major no-no. So we wear our cotton shirts, we wear blue jeans or khakis that are made out of cotton. You can wear the black pants or stuff like that. It doesn't matter as long as it's 100% cotton, or it is fire resistant, or it's leather. You don't want to wear anything synthetic. Next, you want to make sure that you have the proper boots on. Check your boots. Make sure there's not a nail in them. Because if you have a nail sticking up in them and the arc goes through it, it's going to find that nail and it's going to ground you off. And that's not a good thing. You don't want to ground off. So these are things that you do, and of course wear your safety glasses. The reason why this is so important when you're welding, a very common rod that people know is a 1/8 60-10 electrode rod. So that 60-10 1/8 style uses about 75 to about 100 amps to weld with. want you to hear that number again. 75 to 100 amps. And it only takes 0.1 to 0.2 amps to be lethal. So we are using thousands of times the amount of lethal amps to weld with. You do not want that to go through you. Remember, voltage is what hurts you, amps are what kill you. And we are using hundreds of amps, and it only takes it takes a tenth of an amp to kill you. So remember, this is a big step into keeping yourself safe and to keeping yourself alive. The reason why we make the money is because our job is hazardous. That is the point. Thank you.